Welcome to You and Your Money. I'm Jim Zahansky, Principal Managing Partner and Chief Strategist at WHZ Strategic Wealth Advisors. Let's dive in to today's episode.
How to avoid financial scams. Now, I understand tax season is a very active time for scammers. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I mean, how many listeners, get this call from the IRS? The IRS is suddenly calling from, Florida.
I just sent $5,000 to Nigeria the other day.
Yeah, right.
So.
Yeah, right. This is exactly what I'm talking about, right? I mean, we all get these calls and the IRS says, oh, you suddenly owe money and stay on the line. We're going to patch you through. And by the way, you got to pay right now and give me your social security number. Right. This is what we're talking about. So these are prevalent scams. It also is happening on email and during tax season because of, everyone is dealing with very important documents that have sort of things that scammers like, all identifiable information like social security number, dates of birth. All of these things happen during tax season. So scammers love this time. So,
it never, how do the scams start? I mean, it never starts via text or phone calls, right?
Yeah. Great point. It actually, although late, you're right. Like the IRS is actually never going to call you, right?
Yeah.
They're going to send you a letter in the mail.
Yeah.
They're going to let you know. They're not going to call you and expect you to demand immediate payment if you haven't heard from them by letter in the mail. So you're exactly right. I would say on the flip side of that, though, what's interesting now is, in addition to the phone calls, people are getting random texts that say click on this link, and then from the link, you're having to put in identifiable information. So again, the IRS, to your point, is not going to send you a text that says click on the link and fill out this identifiable information and pay now.
You're going to get a serious looking letter. That's how it's going to start.
And you're probably going to get two of those letters in the mail, right? That say, Gary, you haven't done it right. By the way, you owe a little bit of money. Yeah. And then if you don't pay that, they're going to mail you again in the U.S. mail, a letter. There's going to be a phone number to call. And so for the listeners this morning, just be aware of that, because the folks that are scamming you are trying to, whether it's on the phone or on text or on email, are trying to give it this sense of urgency so that you do something immediately. You give them a form of payment, or you give them your social security number, or you give them your date of birth. All of this information is something they can use to financially scam you.
How about stolen identity tax fraud? That's also a thing too.
Yeah, right. I mean, the thing that's happened over the past 10 years is there are a number of companies where you see you've gotten these letters in the mail. We've been breached. Right. One big one initially was the Anthem breach. I don't know, 10 years ago. And because they have your identifiable information, these insurance companies or whoever else, right, they have your social security number, your dates of birth. Suddenly that's been breached. A hacker has taken it and it's on the dark web. And then suddenly they're now filling out tax forms for you, trying to get a tax return sent to their bank account. Right. And then you get a letter in the mail saying, oh, you filed your taxes. And you're like, oh, did I? Because I haven't done it yet. Yeah. And so, you have to be, usually when those types of things happen, when there is somebody has hacked a system or a company, like used the Anthem breach years ago, you get a letter from that company saying, Gary, we've been hacked. You have the right, be aware of that. Your information has been taken, and they usually offer some free credit monitoring service for a year or something like that, and people should take them up on that.
Yes, monitoring accounts too. You kind of open the door for that too. You should pay attention.
Yeah, I mean, right, every month, whether it's your bank statement or maybe it's your 401k statement, you get in some statements, and whether you get them electronically or in the mail. How often do they just sit on the counter versus you looking at them? Look at did you make every debit transaction in your bank account? Did you make every credit card transaction? Did you do all of the things the statement says? Look at that. And in addition, as I was just saying, maybe add, if you're really worried, about what's happening with your credit, get a credit monitoring service, like a LifeLock, or you can use, one of the three credit bureaus, maybe an Equifax or TransUnion, can monitor your credit. You might have to pay a subscription fee, but they'll email you if there's some sort of alert to your credit file.
Are there groups that scammers tend to target more often?
Well, of course, and this is something that listeners should be aware of. If you're older, they're targeting you. And and many of your older listeners, are using things like email and Facebook more, right? They're using text more, and they may not be as used to it. And they are also responding, giving identifiable information to email scams like, you've been hacked, you have a virus, click here and tell me your whole life story. Don't do it. And they're vulnerable.
Are there legal layers you can add to protect yourself?
Yeah. Great question, because if you feel at all compromised, if you're worried about this, as I was saying, you certainly can add, some sort of monitoring system. However, if you feel really uncomfortable, you can put layers in place. You should always, first of all, don't feel like you're alone in this. Keep your trusted contacts in your family aware. And then you could always add in situations like, a trustee or a conservator or a durable power of attorney, having somebody who you really trust help you through these distributions of your finances, or help you pay your bills. You can definitely do that, and you should seek an attorney's help if you need those sorts of layers.
Let's fast forward. Suppose you suspect you have been targeted. What action should you take if you say, "Oh no, it's too late"?
First, don't hide it. Don't tell somebody.
Embarrassed.
Don't be embarrassed. Exactly. I mean, it's a natural reaction to be embarrassed, right? However, it happens every day, and so you share it with somebody you trust. Seek someone you trust help, and then. Obviously, in addition, there are some tools you could do. You could report it to your local police. They may or not be able to help you, but certainly they're going to listen and give you the right resources. Secondly, the IRS has a fraud, on their website. You can report it. You want to tell your banking institution if it happened through that. You want to tell your financial institution if you're investing. They can help you. They can put holds on your account. So there are a number of tools in place. I think the key is, don't feel embarrassed. Tell the people that you're banking with, tell the people you're investing with, tell your trusted contacts, and then tell the IRS.
Fair enough. Last word on scams, and if you get scammed. Final advice.
If it feels like it isn't right on email or phone or text, if it feels weird, don't do it. Just don't. And if you did, don't say, "Oh, that nothing's going to happen." Report it. And take action, and try to correct it. You can stop. You could also close your credit file through Equifax and TransUnion, and if you did that, you're not allowing others to get use of your credit. For more information regarding wealth management and customized financial planning with WHZ Strategic Wealth Advisors, please visit WHZwealth.com. WHZ Strategic Wealth Advisors offer securities and advisory services through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Fixed insurance products and services offered through CES Insurance Agency. They practice at 697 Pomfret Street, Pomfret Center, Connecticut 06259, and 392A Marrow Road, Tolland, Connecticut 06084. They can be reached at 860-928-2341. WHZ Strategic Wealth Advisors do not provide legal or tax advice. The tenured financial services team strives to support clients in achieving their financial life goals while providing absolute confidence and unwavering partnership for life.